cheap wine. We gather around the mic, just killing time. Tales of glory days, now long behind. A podcast
I know,
of
man. You
dads
gotta
who
start
love
making some
their
armor.
lives. We
Am I
reminisce
lagging?
on the
No.
You're good.
Okay, cool.
we had hair in a body break.
You are wearing a costume, John.
This isn't a costume. I realize this is the real me.
John went in on
I still got it.
I'm gonna pretend that you made the show. What the fuck? We're all your guests. Oh my god, look at Dom!
Yes, I helmet.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. We need to get
All right.
Nickel. We gotta get you a powder wig, man.
Oh my god.
We gotta get you a fucking powder wig. Get you on
Make
there.
me look like Thomas Jefferson on the nickel. Let's let Dom have control. Okay.
Welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of the Timepalspodcast. I have been looking forward to this episode for so long. I made notes all the way back in April for this episode, but Underscore just had to keep pushing it back because,
Underscore knew money when he saw it, and this was not money.
he was saving for the perfect moment. And of course, he picked for February, just a random month
Yeah, exactly.
to do it. So I guess I'll introduce, please welcome the master of casual chaos. They've never met an awkward silence they couldn't embrace. From making bad puns to excellent coffee recommendations, it's Underscore. Don't worry, he'll be fine.
Hi, everybody. This was supposed to be my show, but we have to give the baby his bottle sometime.
And we have John, whose voice is smoother than butter, whose jokes are slicker than your favorite ice cream, and whose charm could talk a brick wall into a conversation. It's John.
It's an interesting fact that my voice is as smooth as what clogs my arteries. But I'm here. I still haven't gone under the knife yet. I got both feet. We're living the dream.
And because this episode is so special, Nickel had to bring on another guest. So please introduce us.
Yeah. No, if I'm being honest, I don't have a ton to say about Counter-Strike, but luckily the Time Pals were gracious enough to let me bring in a guest. While I was wasting my life in the early 2000s playing Team Fortress Classic, he was playing Counter-Strike. My only experience with Counter-Strike is watching him play it. I'm pleased to introduce one of my oldest and dearest friends. He says, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." He's always raged against the machine. Please welcome Honest Comrade.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us and carrying my portion of the conversation in this episode.
While Nickel was a spy being a spy, I spent many a summer sweating over my keyboard and 56K connection, getting
So I do want to say that I'm behind your raging against the machine as long as the machine was anything made by Apple.
At the time, I would have agreed with you.
That's what it's for. Purely for Apple gaming. Thanks for getting us started.
Thank you for that
That's
introduction.
the intro. And
Honest,
I don't know, man, how do you want to do the
Well,
What's it
let me verify first. So, are we going to call you Honest Comrade the whole time?
You can call me Honest. You can call me Comrade, but
Cool.
not my real name.
Cool, works for me.
Okay.
Works for me. Way to rage against that machine, my friend.
We appreciate the honesty, comrade.
As I've aged, it's become more of a joke.
So, Dom,
All right.
kick us off.
All right. At first I thought, well, let's do like a whole history lesson, but that'll probably take us at least an hour to go over. So, well, I figured since we played it this past weekend, and Mike, I know you were so proud of your 1 kill in
I
arms
have
race. and
one
we played.
kill a game. One kill a goddamn game. I was so terrible of it. I did that thing where I'm looking at it, I'm like, I've fired real guns before. I'm better than this shit. Like, as if that means anything to anybody that's ever done. It's like, I imagine it the same way like old high school football players, they fuck up in Madden. They're like, well, I remember being really good in real life.
Are you the Uncle Rico of Counter-Strike?
Hell yes.
I bet you I could headshot this guy in real life.
Hell yeah.
It's the Al Bundy. Old high school.
But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. Tried out arms race and then tried to hop into a casual game and found out pretty quick we're not too great, but I think overall, it's still a fun game to just mess around with when you don't.
No.
Be serious.
Give yourselves credit. So essentially, they held together the entire team. Every single game we had, I think you both are like the top guys at least twice, right?
Well, the first
Yeah.
game was you and me, Mike, and then John, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was
the
taking
other.
forever. Oh yeah, because there were already too many fucking counter terrorists or whatever it was. So then
I just love the fact that you look like you sell cocaine now.
hey, it's I can't have regular sugar, so it might as well be booger sugar.
No, I mean, like, having the glasses, you're clearly hiding dinosaur DNA inside of a barber salt can.
Oh, and I just have to say, especially, I'll make it into a clip where, Mike, you're playing on Mirage and you're at, I think it was bomb site A, and you look to your left, but I'm looking because I'm already dead, so I'm ghosting you, and I see John running up the stairs, and I'm like, he's right there. He's right below you, but you look down below, and you don't see that he's right there.
Literally, I looked down underneath my ankles to see if he was there somehow. Look, man, games have become advanced.
And then you just turn around and you get shot from behind and die.
That's about right. That's basically how I ended every single level. So I don't really have a lot of memories of Counter-Strike, to be honest with you. I'm kind of a lot like Nickel, where I didn't play a lot of it in the 2000s. I think I was back, if it was early 2000s, it was probably actually Team Fortress. It was a lot of like MMOs.
I was Team Fortress Classic.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, we definitely played a lot of I mean, it was kind of like the age of Valve multiplayer games. So
Right.
Team Fortress Classic, Half-Life multiplayer,
Firearm.
and then, yeah. And then Steam came out, and then we got what was it, 1.6 that released on Steam and kind of kicked off a whole new way of doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when did this come out, Dom? It was like a mod of Half-Life in what, 2002?
2000.
2000.
2000?
Further, even
Initial
further.
release.
Oh yeah, man.
That's
November
crazy.
2000.
I remember. I know. Yeah, because I was in high school then, and we did. There used to be the Next Level Cyber Cafe that was in that shopping center plaza across.
Level. You know,
Next Level.
I never went in.
Yes. Oh, dude, we were there. We did.
Conrad, we were talking about that just earlier today. The
We-
next level.
We rented that entire place out for an overnight lockdown birthday party one year.
As was the
So, like-
style at the time.
Yes, that's the style at the time. And then one of them leaves and comes back with bags and bags of Jack in the Box.
Honestly, I would assume you were a drug lord back then.
Dude, that's the Next Level. Definitely had some of that stuff going on.
Oh no, I bet.
Now I can't stay up that late without a little bit of booger sugar.
Absolutely.
But we were legitimately talking about that earlier today, Conrad.
I wonder if we're ever all in there at the same time, because we were there like almost every weekend.
I never went.
No, I
Oh, you never went?
No, we built our own land in a basement.
never went either. But it was an internet cafe that was like right on the other side of the fence from our high school. And they were all playing Counter-Strike.
Yep, Counter-Strike and
And I'm like-
Battlefield 1942.
Battlefield is my jam.
Desert Combat
And
mod.
the next level, that's what it was called, right?
It was great, right next to Flora's Heroes. We used to eat at that place all the time.
I mean, this was next to my high school, but it was in the same shopping center as Trader Joe's.
Captain's Chest.
Captain's Chest.
Yeah,
Captain.
that's his chest.
Yeah. We all I know who Honest Comrade is, and I realize that we have all done the same dive bars together.
Yeah,
We did the circle, we did the Captain's Chest, we did parties, we did Catfish Charlie's, we did Red Hat, we did all that stupid shit.
yeah. The X Manor.
X Manor, that's right. My name was written under Mr. Sinister because the guy who was part of the X Manor gave me the only villain. the entire X-Men. I mean, this is all obviously in the weeds inside shit. So
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's
sorry, let's go back.
actual topic of Counter-Strike.
Let me reverse us a little bit. So with us is obviously a guest, Honest Comrade. And the reason why we have him on here, just like Nickel said, is he's been playing this, I didn't know, since 2000. So obviously it's a very long time. He's kind of our ringer for in place of myself and Nickel, because we don't really know a lot about this game. So I guess to kick it off a little bit and go into your stories and stuff like that, Dom, is I want to hear like Honest Comrade's actual first experiences with it.
Yeah, well, don't let me be the bearer of bad news here, but I don't still play Counter-Strike. I think I started in 01, had a couple long, as I stated, sweaty summers over 56K at the time. There's another mutual friend of ours who had the fastest internet connection, which was their free 56K, that made for some pretty awesome disconnects and drops when Juno would run out of packets. And then that was
run out of, oh my God.
that was when we would hot swap seats. And sometimes the computer would overheat, etc. But we started playing on one of the OG dedicated servers named Fistfuck. Was the name of the server. Eventually they spun off another one called Buttlint because they were running out of capacity. And FF and Buttlint, as they were known, had a pretty awesome rule set that we really enjoyed. So friendly fire was on, so that all of the degeneracy could happen. The teams were auto-balanced and maxed out at an odd number of players. So there was always a team with a disadvantage pretty much consistently until someone would leave. And let's see, what other funky rules were there on there? And it pretty much always rotated on CS Assault and DE Dust, and I think CS Office. So that's most of what I played in Counter-Strike. A little bit of Aztec, I think.
Yeah, Aztec, rip to fallen one.
So question, why did you guys have it purposely uneven teams?
I mean, we didn't run the server. That was just the place that we started hanging out. And if I can remember the justification, it was just so that someone would always be stacked, and then it would naturally, emergent order would fit in and someone would leave, and then it would auto balance back the other way.
Interesting.
And then,
It worked.
yeah, eventually you'd be in a long session. The normal play style would get a little boring, be on a tilt from a death streak. And so we created all sorts of our own play style mini games. This was long before, a lot of the mods were out. So I like to think we invented gun game, where we would, a lot of this was one person had a computer at their house and we were all playing, swapping seats. So it'd be like, oh, you get three deaths before you leave, and then of course one person would be really good. And so they would keep playing for like a half hour or an hour or whatever. And you wouldn't be able to play, and your mom would pick you up, and it would be like,
And you're mad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the other ways we would play were, gun game, so that it was a little bit more difficult. So we'd start with knife and then work our way all the way up to the para.
Yeah.
In order of guns. So that was always fun. And then eventually degenerated into probably the silliest, which was Mission Ass Face, which is about as stupid as it sounds. I believe the mission of Mission Ass Face was to kill your entire team, kill all the hostages, and then kill yourself.
Okay.
Be the next man
I don't
standing.
think I ever played that mode, man.
Yeah, it wasn't an official mod.
Feels like you'll end up on a list if you actually get that.
Yeah, and it had to be in that order, obviously.
Oh.
Okay.
And if you could kill yourself with the console command kill while you were jumping off of the CT roof in Assault, then it was bonus points.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's how I learned about the console.
I think the only time we used the console was for turning off gravity and Scout's knives. and playing with like low or really low or almost no gravity and just like crouch floating around the level like some sort of weird anime air fight.
Really, really hard to get that headshot with a knife when you're floating over your opponent.
And then, of course, I would be a dick and I turn it all the way down so people would just go up, 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 up. And then all of a sudden, just 2,000 gravity and slam everyone into the earth.
That's who that was doing that.
I got banned from controlling games for a while because I kept doing that to people. But the other mod that came out of the early Counter-Strike stuff, I think 1.6 and Source specifically, was the Earth Special Forces one. Did either of you guys play that?
No, I never played that.
So that was the Dragon Ball Z mod.
Oh, my
So yeah,
Mike
you go
wants to
in
play
there. Yeah, you go in and you play this Dragon Ball Z mod, and it
Why do you do this to yourselves?
because and it was fun because you picked from most of the main characters, and I think all the way up to like Cell, and I mean, it was a full conversion mod, which was one of my favorite things about Counter-Strike was just like the community mods, the community support and maps to it, especially in the early days. I don't think we get that as much now with Counter-Strike 2 or even CSGO. But like, you know, you have like the rapid fire energy blast, you can charge up, you can go Super Saiyan, and then you can have actual battles like a Kamehameha versus like a Vegeta Big Bang Attack, and it's a click fight at that point. And you're clicking and pushing it back and forth until somebody fails or is able to like knock it away. And that was a blast.
I never heard of that, but I bet it was janky as fuck.
Oh, it so was. Also because they tried to keep the power levels like similar to the show, so it was always a race to get like Cell, Goku, and Vegeta. And then somebody's just like, okay, fuck, I guess I'm Krillin.
Guess I'm gonna die again.
You don't know this on
You
this
start as Yamcha.
but as the Asian guy in the group, I actually have never watched a full episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I've reached a point in my life.
Oh, we gotta have a watch party or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reached a point in my life where I will never do it. I want to die, and that's gonna be part of like the eulogy. Had that's the one guy,
Never
the one
finished.
dude.
When he's on
Mike.
when he's on his deathbed, we're gonna pull in a TV and be like, "All right, Mike, it's finally time."
He might die before the end of the episode.
he's gonna
Spirit bomb
he's gonna
will charge.
pull the cord.
So, real question for you guys. Then, being that obviously you guys chose CS, I should say, over like prom dates and shit. So, like, what?
Hang on. Before you go into yours, because that cues me of junior year of high school.
Here goes.
Junior year of high school, in probably the fucking nerdiest, we did anti-prom. And anti-prom saw us load up into cars, drive down to Mountain View, eat not once, but twice at Mr. Chow's Chinese fast food.
Jesus
And
Christ.
between that, go to a different cyber cafe down there and play Counter-Strike and Battlefield and shit all day. And we're just like, yeah, fuck prom. We're edgy. We're cool. We're gonna play video games an hour away.
I will say there is something kind of, I don't know what the word, I guess sweet about your edginess is eating two Chinese food. I
Do you not remember Mr. Chow's Chinese fast food?
don't remember Mr. Chow's at all.
Those foam boxes, they had to bend it over and then like tape it shut. But the thing is they had like 20 to 30 different kinds of meat, but they were all the same meat. They had to have been, because there's like, I don't think it was different animals. Like there was just like one section of like red and then some yellow ones and then some like other colored ones. And then it's like, I think it was just an amalgam of various. Where's some, dude, that would have been the perfect time for the gong right there, right? When I said the yellow ones. Like that would have been too good. But like it was just generic, but they gave you so much food that like, the bottomless pits that were high school kids.
Did Chow's, this is off topic again, but did Chow's actually last a long time? Because the commercials were like these like the goofy, meme-worthy commercials and ran before there were memes. They would have been perfect for this.
Yeah, it really would. I think they went out of business in like, I don't know, the late 2000s, maybe early 2010s, something like that. But sorry, back to your story. It's just you said prom, and that was like such a perfect
No.
segue.
No, it was. I'm glad I know that story now.
Yeah, I know, right? I've made your life better.
Exactly. So, any case, my actual question is why CS? So obviously Nickel was Team Fortress and whatnot. There were Battlefield was a good one that got brought up. I love Battlefield. I never really got into CS. So what made that thing special?
Oh, it's the gun porn. Obviously, that began a lifelong obsession with really cool, stupid guns like the P90.
Yep. The P90, the Para, God, how great would that be? Just going to a
Yeah, but they were kind of real. You know, the first featuring of the P90 was, I believe, in GoldenEye.
Oh, no way.
I forget what the RCP90, I believe.
yeah, the RCP90. Yeah.
And I learned, you know, being an engineer and a weird gun nut, the intersection of those things, the FNP90 might be the pinnacle, which is the magazine loads weird. It has a little cylinder in it to turn the round. It's a tiny little micro rifle round. It's a bullpup. It's futuristic and spacey. So yeah, but was real, right?
God, it really did hit all the marks, didn't it, man?
Yeah, and also sucks because once you realize how trigger control works and how guns actually work, it's space guns are not really very good.
It's like just like Uzis aren't that great.
For me, it was a lot of the private servers that my friend Alex and I would join. Primarily, he really liked the surf maps, but I didn't really like them just because I didn't understand how you had to like hit the keys at the right time. You had to like flick your mouse to make your character look in the right direction to follow a path. And if you hit the ground or you hit some wall or ceiling or something, it would reset you back to the beginning. But I really loved the zombie run maps. Those were the most fun.
I never played those.
Well, hey, we'll have to try because I'm sure they still got some private servers
Dude,
in there.
I'm absolutely down.
Yeah, we were going to do that.
Right.
Right about
And then it was like 2 a.m, and then I had to go.
That's
But
what you
yeah.
get living in the future, man.
And then I remember Alex, when I went over to his house, because he had 2 computers so we could play LAN, but he was like, here, we're going to join CT together. And then he added 32 bots and made it so they all had knives. And so we could arm ourselves to the teeth with guns. And crazy enough that later on, that was what Valve created Left 4 Dead based off of.
Right.
So
That's right.
I don't know if he got that from, somewhere online or just, it seems like something somebody would just come up with, be like, you know what, why not one team, just small guys with guns, and then the other team is just full of knife-wielding bots.
See, that actually does sound fun.
Yeah.
So
Call of Duty's still ringing that bell, right? With Black Ops, Zombie Mode.
we did a similar thing. It wasn't really zombies on that map for us, but there was a map in Source, and I will share this to see if this sparks any memories to you guys, because we got a share screen button here, I think. There we
At
go.
the bottom
Share
screen.
There it is.
Ah,
The Helm's Deep recreation
Hey.
map.
Nice.
So we would do the same thing. There'd be several of us in Helm's Deep, and then there would be a maxed out enemy team with knives or just handguns. And then, you had to get through the door up here. There was a little tunnel, and you could blow up the wall there. You could go up in the tower and snipe from up there. And just so much fun. And they recreated the whole thing. You could break through the planks and go in, and there was the inner sanctum to fight through.
wow.
That was our version of zombies when I played.
Nice.
Yeah, makes you wonder. The mod support was just so good. I wonder how many of these people became game devs, right? Just like
I know, right?
It does make it a lot.
instance, modding to make the Helm's Deep map in a game that's like so unrelated from that.
Yeah, because then it's not this nice little what they have with the Halo game. The you can go in and just
What,
make
Forge?
Yeah, the Halo Forge. Apparently, that's really plug and play. Like dumb people like me could do that. No, this was not the case. They had to put effort in.
Right. Well, especially since Forge, it's funny, at the time in Halo 3, they just thought, oh, it's just, you're going to put weapons in different spots. Maybe you put a crate over here or something. But people were like, no, we want to design like entire maps. So in their first map pack, they're like, okay, here's Foundry, just this big open warehouse. And then they just add a bunch of different crate sizes and everything. And then you could actually create your own maps. And then people are like, no, we want an even bigger map. And
So the fact that you guys are all obviously veteran CS guys, did you ever do like tournaments and stuff like that? Because I know that was really big for that community.
not for me, no.
No, we were pretty plebeian at that time. My only competitive shooter stuff came later with PlanetSide 2 and a little bit of
Oh man, yes. I love PlanetSide too.
Yeah, but back then it was just for fun, like I said, hot swapping seat and a little bit of online, this was the 56 gay days, so it was like whoever had the second line, we would just phone call each other on the second line while playing in the same match. Definitely not up to clan standards at that time.
I did some tournaments, not that I was good, but it was all like local stuff sponsored by the Next Level. And I think maybe there was like one or two that were put on by DVC in
Right.
like conjunction with them. 90% of the tournaments were like for just credit at the Next Level. So like, yeah, I want to win so that I don't have to pay more money to go to the cyber cafe and play the games that I own at home, but I'm having more fun playing next to my friends.
On this beat up keyboard.
Well, so what were the actual prizes? That was like first, second, and third were all just free hours at Next Level?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it was like one of them. It was like, I think it was like 10 hours, 5 hours, and 2 hours or something like that. 10 hours. I mean, that was a weekend.
Yeah, it really wasn't until Global Offensive when it came out in 2012. And that's when Alex and a couple of our other friends got it. And then that's when I really started to play Counter-Strike much more serious. And we would actually hop into competitive, but not for like tournaments or anything, but just to see like, oh, where are we going to rank kind of thing? How good can we actually be as a team? That's as far as I went.
So was that like a pre-defined team matchmaking thing, like a modern MOBA rank?
Yeah, you would just hop on matchmaking and they would try to match you up with some evenly skilled teams. But nowadays it feels like every other game there's somebody that's probably wall hacking or aim hacking in some way. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I'll hop on and it'll say, thank you for reporting this player. Here's some extra experience. I mean, it's bad.
Why? So then, in your opinion, then why do you think that this game that obviously is rife with, honestly, multiple controversies, it's endured and yet it still allows like hacking and stuff, right? I mean, they've never been able to curb it, correct?
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the weapon skins.
Oh my God. That's insane to me.
So,
Hey, what about cheating? What about cheating with the controller hacking and stuff like that, Dom?
Well, interesting enough, the Zim Matrix doesn't work on Counter-Strike, so I
Unfortunately,
unfortunately can't like test it out just to see,
um,
if I can get an advantage, but no, doesn't work.
look who's just like me.
I have to ask.
Oh, I tried. It didn't work.
About cheating, you can't even do the thing you love the most.
Barry Bonds is
The Barry Bonds.
equivalent. Dom is ShadoSpartan is the equivalent to Barry Bonds of home run hitting.
Watch me get banned from tournaments, and
Yeah, right.
there goes my, competitive career.
Watch you get divorced.
I think he spelled hacksaw wrong.
ShadoSpartan.
He's taking
I've never been caught.
ShadoSpartan is the Barry Bonds of aim hacking.
It's the only way to stay competitive.
That's right. Actually,
Well, I mean, that's not the only way to stay competitive, right? We could do some fucking Dexedrine and some Adderall and some
Enhancing drug.
yeah.
So Honest Comrade,
Dancing.
we had a whole episode about game cheating, and it blew my mind. I shouldn't have, but it blew my mind that a lot of these events, you will have people on these like essentially amphetamines just so their movements are quicker and stuff like that. Like I didn't realize the amount of money and gambling that was involved in this kind of stuff. So like it threw me off to 100%.
Well, there was actually a performance enhancing drugs controversy in Counter-Strike.
Oh God.
The only thing I found out was randomly during an interview with pro player Semphis, he just suddenly decides to expose that he and his team were all taking Adderall to improve their performance. He also claims that many other teams are also on Adderall.
So he told on himself because other people.
I forget what the whole interview was about. He's just like, fuck it. Yeah, we're all on Adderall. I'm on Adderall with the team, but everyone else is doing it. And so because of that, the majors started doing drug tests on all their players.
Oh shit!
Just because of that, like, fuck it, we're all on Adderall.
Let them take Adderall. It's like that. What was that idea that somebody came out with recently for like the Olympics with performance enhancing drugs? We should have esports. We should have
someone's trying
where
to
everybody's esports
like
where
everything is
everyone's on
legal.
something.
I was one of the ones where I'm like, yep, steroid era. Balls were hit like 8 million miles away. You know what I mean? Let's run it back. I don't give a shit.
See how far you can push the human body.
Maybe if we do that, like we'll have like a real sports like drama thing in esports. Like one of the guys on like Cloud9 will snap and kill a hooker in his hotel room or something.
Yeah, I'm down.
Like then we're into some fucking sports drama, you know?
If I would have been more into Counter-Strike if I knew like half the players were on drugs and the other half were killing prostitutes.
Might have been happening anyway.
Only thing they were killing is socks in their room.
All right, let's start with flash grenade blocking an op shot. Ops in Counter-Strike are the deadliest sniper, as you guys already know. One shot, just about anybody with no matter how much their health and armor is. Unless it's a wall bang, which is shooting through something, it'll deal reduced damage. Well, during a Blast Premier Fall Groups in 2021, the team G2 was playing against one of the best teams in the league at the time, Ninjas in Pajamas, on the map Mirage. A flash grenade happened to coincidentally block an op shot. According to YouTuber 3 Clicks Philip, he calculated the chances of this happening are 3 in 8 million. There's a lot to explain, unless I could show you guys, but basically, the terrorist player threw a frag grenade where he knew a CT was, but at that moment, the CT engaged some other terrorist and died. His flash grenade dropped to the ground, and the frag grenade went off at that moment, which launched the flash grenade, bounced off a wall, and flew into the air right as a CT was aiming at another terrorist. That's when he fired his shot, and the flash grenade was in the perfect spot to block the shot. Or technically, it went through and hit the terrorist, but only did 24 damage.
I've seen this. Oh my God. I don't know why I've seen this.
Yeah, just type in Blast Premier 2021 G2.
My dumbass somehow.
And I'm sure it'll pop up and you'll see it.
I looked at that video several times just because it happened so quickly. So like I pulled it up on YouTube. There was a section on a video where I think it was the dude who initially reported it. Like he had already slow-moed it, and then I cranked YouTube down to like 25%. And just watching it like frame by frame by frame, you're like, holy shit. Like that was one of those like, I don't know, what's that baseball dude who hit the bird?
Randy Johnson.
That one.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like,
Right.
like the timing. Like,
Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
It was Randy Johnson.
Thank you, Nick.
Got to be some case study and probability and aiming things, right?
This is your
Exactly.
murder film. That's insane to me.
Right. So, how about the bomb blocking an op shot? Although I don't have stats for that one, but instead of a grenade, which everyone generally has, what if the bomb blocked an op shot? Back in 2016 at ESL, we have Astralis versus Natus Vincier on the map Overpass.
I don't think I know fast.
I bet you it's like a 1 in a million chance, even though 3 Clicks Philip doesn't give a statistical analysis of it. Natus was trying to take the A-bomb site on Overpass. The terrorist with the bomb died, which drops the bomb, or technically it flies up into the air and then drops to the ground. At that exact moment, his teammate went to take out the CT on the bomb site. The bomb, coincidentally, flew right in the Natus player's crosshairs.
Yeah.
The CT only had 4 health, and the bomb somehow blocked all the damage, saving him so he could finish off the Natus player. It's crazy because 3 Clicks Philip tries to replicate this, And the game sometimes registers the hit and other times it doesn't. What he found out was sometimes the bomb registers one hit, which reduces the damage, but other times it would block the shot twice for some reason, which is what happened during the pro game. Even though you watch it on replay, and sometimes it shows the shot didn't go through, and other times it shows it did. So in some parallel universe, the shot did go through and killed the CT.
So yeah, that's what wasn't sure if it was one of those things where it was like the bomb was still on his back, and so he shot it, and the bomb acted like almost like like the frying pan in freaking PUBG.
No, the terrorist died, and the bomb went flying up into the air, and then as it's coming down, it just happened to get right in front of the other player's shot.
I love it.
He just, again, timed it somehow perfectly.
See, cool
thank-
shit like
And
that
this is
happens to me.
exactly why I brought in Honest Comrade.
I am so lost right now.
Because
So
yeah,
lost.
me and Underscore are way lost.
We don't
This is exactly why I brought it.
have a camera
Honest Comrade.
staring at both of you going, oh, you guys should kiss. Because I don't understand anything, but you're very into whatever this is.
Because
I'll have to send you.
if anybody was gonna understand Dom's questions, it was gonna be Honest Comrade.
Conrad might be disgusted right now. I have no idea. I don't know what I should be feeling. Am I impressed?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, a crazy feat of a physics engine in order for all those things to line up and actually occlude the shot and for the penetration to values to scale and to not do the amount of damage. This is all new information to me.
I always try and calculate my penetration damage, so I'm with you. No, like it's like for me, it's not even like I'm not into any sports, be them regular or esports, plain and simple.
No, it's
And,
weird.
I know I'm a freak of nature.
Same here.
But like I can appreciate it as being just like some weird random cosmic one-off that happened, whether it's in a video game or like in life or something. You know,
Mhm.
I'm impressed when you tell me the odds. Because it's then I'm like, oh, okay, obviously it's a video game. But then when you're like, oh, yeah, it's like 1 in 8 million. I'm like, oh, that's an actual hate, honestly. That's
I still have better chance than the lottery.
crazy. Right? Yeah, it's absolutely
Right. I just never thought it would happen again. But here it's like a flashbang coincidentally blocking a shot, and now a bomb also blocking a shot. It's like in a pro league situation. It's crazy.
Yeah, not like just in a scrimmage, but actually in a showdown.
So then speaking of that, what do you guys know, like the top level players then? Is it like we were talking about sports teams and stuff. Is it known to the community like these guys are the best, or this team is the elite, that kind of thing?
I mean, I think there's a pretty well-known group of like professional esports teams. Like when I go on that trip to DreamHack in Dallas every year, there's always some form of like the Counter-Strike majors going on. I think this year is actually the US finals out there before they go to Worlds. And so there's all these esports guys out there. There's famous ones out there who, I mean, these guys are making millions of dollars playing Counter-Strike or League of Legends or something else. And I'm sure people are just as into them as we would be into other
Our wide receiver.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like for me, like a comic artist.
Yeah. No, I get it. I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them that, like, I'll recognize the name, but it's not. I don't really know like the individual players. It's not like, oh, this player is like the LeBron James of Counter-Strike. That, at least for me, there's not like that one player that really stands out.
Yeah, I know that I'm with you. I know the team names, like they're names that I hear a lot in like, oh, it's down to these two, or these are the final
Well, that would
was like Cloud9 or
Yeah, the team.
that'd be the honest Comrade. Honest Comrade is probably like top tier, right?
Right. You know these guys so well, right, comrade?
Why didn't we have you guys go against each other for the show?
I don't have my weighted mouse with me.
Oh,
You don't
Bummer.
have your
I don't have my hacks, set up yet. I gotta boot it up, I gotta calibrate it and all that stuff.
Oh, comrade,
my
you gotta
start,
know
yeah.
Dom he's a frequent cheater.
Yes. I know.
Dom is
know what you're
a
talking
frequent
about.
cheater. He likes aim assist and aim assist.
Courtesy of Mike.
That was actually, speaking of hacks fast, that was one other mode we liked doing, which was one of the guys would get some sort of gun with aimbot on it. And our goal would be to see how many times we could kill him just constantly respawning, with him just being able to like fire up in the air and like kill most of us. And it was always like one or two, but we would do it like a dick around warm up or something like that. And it was just, surprisingly fun.
Like a Goliath mode or something.
All right, let me see what else I got here. All right. This one will actually be an open question for you guys. This is called the Olaf boost. Do you know it, comrade? Did you hear about this one? No.
Hey, Nick, are you excited about the Giants this year?
The Olaf, like the dude from the Frozen movies, Olaf.
Spelled different, I think.
I mean, I think it's Olaf because it's Olaf, but everyone says Olaf.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, okay. At DreamHack 2014, Fnatic were losing 6-13, and in Counter-Strike 15, whoever hits 15 first wins. So they're 2 away from losing. They're facing against LOLC on the map Overpass. In order to make a comeback, they pulled off a never-before-seen 3-man boost on Overpass. Now I got to explain boosting. So boosting is basically one player crouches, another player jumps on top, and then they stand up, and that's boosting. If you try to do a 3-man boost, as soon as the third player jumps on top, he slides off. However, on this map, there's one spot that pretty much you can see over almost the whole map. And so they did this 3-man boost, and because normally he'd slide off, but he just hits a wall, and he can see a good chunk of the map. No one had ever tried this before, especially in competitive, and I guess they decided, crap, we're about to lose, we might as well try this.
Might as well stand on each other.
And the first time they did it, and he's got a sniper looking down, and the first player he shot, headshot, and you see the person right behind him like stop and look like, what the heck? How did he just get taken out? Eventually they started to catch on, but it was kind of too late because they were just like, oh crap, they kept losing so many times, so their economy was screwed up, and then they made this comeback and won. But immediately the match was put under review, and everyone was just like,
bullshit.
was this technically legal or not?
It has to be. It has to be. If it's,
I am all for yes, I'm all for exploits. Yes.
I think we did this last episode or that episode.
I think we talked about something like this. Is this an exploit?
It's a legal thing. If you have to add it to the game,
This is why I wanted to add Honest Comrade to the conversation.
That's gonna be. He's just a repeat
what you're
line.
describing is the cartoon equivalent when like two kids put each other on each other's shoulders and then like wear a big overcoat and sneak into a movie.
Yeah, or just boosting someone over a fence, right?
Gotcha.
I mean, this is teamwork. We need to raise each other up.
Gotcha.
But he knows more. He knows more about this than I do.
Yeah.
But he didn't know about this.
No,
Yeah.
no, I haven't followed, this was like, 10 years ago? That is way past my following of Counter-Strike. So hopefully Nickel didn't mislead you here. But as far as opinions on it,
And this is just day and
Still know more than
about it that you were ranked.
nope. But yeah, I think built into the game, I mean, there's no clear like glitching here. It's not even really that much of an exploit. I mean, the boost is like a known thing, and everyone
Well,
probably...
again, at the time, it wasn't well known. I don't know how many people did know about it, or if like the players experimented, they found this out, and then they're like, let's save this for a tournament and only use it at the last moment.
I mean, it's smart to have something in your back pocket.
I mean, is the flying V an exploit?
Yeah, right? Right?
The flying V. A Mighty Ducks reference is not what I expected in this conversation, and I appreciate
It's the only thing that brings me back.
You guys know, like you understand why the like why those flying Vs have more, like why one side's longer, right?
It's an even number of players.
No, it's gonna be a dick joke.
No, there's just more ducks on one side.
Why did we let him?
I know, right? Like, oh,
Well, I can't really say it. Okay, so here was officially what happened. DreamHack deemed it unfair and required a rematch between the teams.
Bullshit.
But Fnatic just forfeited the match. And then the other team, LOLC, just went on with the tournament and they ultimately won.
oh no way.
Okay, so I knew they couldn't win. They couldn't win if they didn't do that.
I guess. But DreamHack just, their final decision was it had to be replayed due to texture, transparency, and immortal bug used by both teams. I have no idea what that was. So
It's just they
Right.
just find a technical.
like, both
Yeah,
teams
so-
were doing something they weren't supposed to. So it's all going to be replayed.
Yeah.
Hey, explain that to me like I'm an idiot because I am.
He has been. Don't worry.
But both teams did something bad. So they
okay.
they restarted the match. But one of the teams said, "No, we don't want to play anymore."
Counter-Strike player.
And it was the team who used the Olaf, the stacking exploit.
Oh, the smarter, more innovative team. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what the other what this other occlusion or texture bug was.
All right, now we're getting to the gaming paradise story.
Yeah.
Are you ready
Yes,
for this?
well, yes.
This was a CS tournament in 2015 that sounded at least similar to Fire Festival, if you guys are familiar with that story.
Okay.
Oh no way. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so this tournament was called Gaming Paradise, a company called the Gaming Resort, promising this tournament to be amazing in Porto, can't talk right now, Slovenia, with a prize pool
Sounds fake. That sounds like where Dr. Doom is from.
with a prize pool of $50,000. Instead, they had many issues, like the buses taking the players from the airport to the venue were late. Like the players arrived at 3 a.m. and had to play the next morning. The truck driver carrying all the PCs to play on just never showed up. So he probably just stole all the PCs.
They fell off that truck.
As was style at the time.
So they had to convert all these workstation PCs and try to upgrade them to be able to play on.
See, that's how you know it's fake, because the grand prize was in 10 extra hours of Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
$50,000 and you get to go to a private island. No.
That sounds very much like another recent story involving a private island. I might or might not be familiar with. No.
So day one was obviously terrible to watch because the internet was slow. The players had to deal with terrible rubber banding. I'm sure, Comrade, you are familiar with rubber banding. That was always terrible.
Helicopter.
The Twitch audience was upset, as they usually are, because of the low quality stream. Probably because they were playing outside as the main issue, and the only cover they had was a tent. I guess they thought it would be cool to have this wonderful beach background.
It would be cool to have a beach background, honestly.
It sounds cool, but when you actually try to set it up, it doesn't work so well.
You guys ruin everything.
Day two, they just straight up canceled a Dota 2 tournament outright. They just decided not to hold it at all. And then the hotel where all the staff and players were staying at, turns out they were never paid. So almost everyone's passports were being held by the police until everything was paid in full.
That's hilarious.
Then the CEO of Gaming Resort shows up and he says because he's had to pay off the hotel, the venue, and the police, there's no longer a prize pool. And whoever wins, you might get your prize pool in 90 days. So they still chugged on with the tournament, and Kingwins won the tournament, and 90 days passed, and they said they still haven't received their prize money.
To get something.
Apparently the Counter-Strike tournament, apparently the company went bankrupt, and the CEO disappeared off the face of the earth.
I'm shocked.
However,
This is Fire Island.
the last thing he said on a Reddit AMA, it was my first event, and I still did much better than anybody around.
I mean, like,
You know, there's something to be said about your super villain. I wouldn't expect anything less. That's amazing.
Compared to what, like a fatality at a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party? Yeah. Like, fucking, sure, the bar's really fucking low, man.
And arguably more successful than Fire Festival, because didn't Fire Fest not have a single band play? Wasn't it also?
So, or at least it didn't finish. They had to cancel the whole thing. At least this one did see it all the way.
Was it a Counter-Strike? Was it a Counter-Strike tournament or something like that? Right?
This one? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And they tried to have a Dota 2 one, but they canceled it when things weren't going well with the Counter-Strike one.
Speaking of which, do you guys know what's happening this year towards the end of April?
Fire Festival 2?
Yep.
No.
Fire Fest 2.
I figured you were going to say something like that.
25th to 28th on a private island off the coast of Mexico.
Is he also offering Blink-182 again?
Same dude, and he's offering these like
I thought he was
That's
still in.
what worked
I
out.
thought he was still in
right?
prison.
Fool me twice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the festival is organized by Billy McFarland, who was convicted of fraud for the original Fire Festival in 2017.
Oh my God!
Plus, you
This-
could be a moron to think to yourself, like, I'm going to get all these guys on a private island and we're dangling Ja Rule and Blink-182.
Oh
Right?
God!
Ridiculous.
Yeah, rule of Blink-182.
Those were the headlines.
That's
Yeah.
Those were the headlines.
yeah. No, those are the headliners I want to see. Ja Rule and Blink-182.
If you lost money, you deserved it.
He's offering $1.1 million scuba diving packages for this year. Anyway, back to Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Do I get to scuba dive with Ja Rule and
No.
Blink-182?
I think you get to scuba dive with like Billy Graham or something. I don't know. I didn't read enough of the article.
All right, now I got some funny ones. Chicken. You guys like chickens, right?
I don't know about this.
Like, what is the context of this chicken?
Did you not notice the chickens in Counter Strike? They run
course I
they
know.
run around. Yeah, they run around on the map.
Yeah, they're great to practice your aim on.
Well, Counter Strike players, they don't like the chickens, especially the pros. There's tons of montages on YouTube regarding chickens in Counter Strike and how they've affected actual games. It is hilarious. My personal favorite, if I had to pick one, was in 2018 at Star Series. The teams of Mouse Sports versus AK Gaming were playing on the map Inferno. In case you guys don't know, in competitive, sometimes if you're about to lose a round in a 1v4 situation, sometimes that one player will try to hide so he can keep his weapon to save money for the next round. Well, player Robes was trying to hide when he tried to open a door, but it wouldn't open. He tried shooting through it to scare or kill the chicken on the other side, but he missed all of his shots, giving away his position, and he tried to run away, but got taken out because of a goddamn chicken blocking the door.
Yeah.
This is the same physics engine that allowed 3 people to stand on each other's shoulders and snipe people from afar. That's incredible.
And then segueing from one chicken to another chicken.
See, this is the chicken. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. You were expecting this one.
I like this chicken.
So before we get into the bad hackers and cheaters of Counter-Strike, I thought we should start with one of Counter-Strike's greatest trolls called Chicken. You just have to take out the second C in chicken, and that's how you spell it, Chiken. This guy somehow figured out how to join like any lobby. I mean, most hackers know how to do that, but this guy in particular became famous because he actually was able to join the private lobbies of CS majors. They'd be waiting in lobby, waiting to start the game, and then suddenly you just see this guy named Chicken pop up in the lobby for some reason. And it's like, how did he find out how to just join the lobby? Turns out how it like worked back then, Valve has fortunately fixed this issue now, is that each lobby has a specific ID code. So if you could just like change one number, and that might be another lobby somewhere in the world that you could just join.
Oh, it's right.
Joining, so you could join just some random person's lobby easily, and of course it didn't matter if it was public or private. If he had your lobby ID, he could join your lobby. So doing it randomly is easy, but somehow finding a Counter-Strike major event would be extremely difficult to find the exact ID code, unless a lot of people speculate he must have had help inside. Someone like told him what the ID code is. But whatever the case, he would just show up in these lobbies, and that's how he became famous, showing up. Even in streamer lobbies, Counter-Strike pros would be streaming, and he would just show up in their lobby.
So he
join
doesn't
their
even
game.
make good. He just shows up and ruins everybody's good time.
No, he doesn't even ruin it. He didn't even ruin it.
No,
He
no,
didn't
no.
go in and hack and kill people
Right.
or anything. He didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
He would just show up and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm chicken." And the people are like, "Who the
He would
Yeah.
play like a normal player. He wouldn't hack. He would just
He wasn't exceptional. He's just like, hey, here I am.
Yeah.
right.
Hey, everybody. I kind of dig that. That's kind of fun.
kind of like a
Well-
kind of like a Wedding Crashers moment?" People are like, "Who the fuck is this dude?"
Well, I mean, it's kind of like how I was watching John
Oh,
play his
right.
Mario 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you were adding to the amazingness.
I just wanted to talk shit to him.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just jump into the hackers of Counter-Strike, or at least the known hackers, the professional known hackers.
The professional non-hackers.
Yeah. I'm not a professional known hacker. I'm just a known, apparently frequent cheater. Not frequent. Just when I'm playing Call
You're
of Duty. Just
You're
known,
a cheater.
known COD
You're a
cheater.
cheater.
That's what I.
You're a cheater. You're a cheater. We've established this already.
All right. At Frag Masters 2014, a match between Hellraisers versus Team Property on Dust 2. One teammate on Team Property named Emilio on the 12th round suddenly got banned for cheating by VAC, which is Valve's anti-cheat. At first, Emilio blamed it on a friend who used his account and may have been cheating, only later to admit that he and his friend, I don't know if it was the same friend, did use wall hacks, but only in matchmaking, not in official tournaments.
There's always an Emilio, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, he was using my computer. That's why the hacks are on there. And that's also why there's a huge folder full of German Scheisse porn. Like, that's not my stuff.
The opposite of these aren't my pants. That's exactly what this
Yeah.
is.
Then we got ESL 2018. An Indian player going by the name of Forsaken was already controversial when he joined the team because it was already well known he owned not one, but two previous Steam accounts that had been VAC banned. During a match against Revolution on Cash, Forsaken's team lost in the first game, a best of two. But in the second game, things got very suspicious. Everyone in chat were calling out Forsaken. Rewatching it now especially, it looks pretty obvious he had some kind of aim assist. Specifically, he'd aim at a guy as they're jumping backwards behind cover, and Forsaken was still perfectly aiming on his target despite no line of sight. The refs paused the game and began to investigate his computer. That's when they found a command prompt, word.exe, on his computer, and you can watch the video of him trying to push the ref away, and he's attempting to delete the files right in front of everybody.
I mean, you got to, right? You got to.
I mean, it's like those people that hop into the passenger seat when they get caught driving. They're like, he took off, man. I don't know where the fuck he went.
Is that where
Right.
you got your idea to be a cheater, Dom?
No, of course not. I want to be just like Forsaken.
You always had it in you.
He's my hero.
What happens exactly when like these guys get caught though? I mean, do they get sued or they give up? Obviously, if they have winnings, they forfeit winnings. But other than that, is anything?
I would think the team, especially, would get fined.
By the league. Yeah, it probably depends on which league. This was ESL, you said?
Or Stevo. I don't know if that's ESL.
Oh, okay.
CEVL.
Yeah, if there's betting involved, yeah, you're gonna find a way. You're gonna want to find a way to make it.
There's money on the line. There's money for the event holders. There's money for the game companies too, right? Get an upset, something, and then you get your video platforms involved, right? Your YouTubers are pumped when there's a big upset because then they get a lot of views. Turtles all the way down.
Like gambling and money, shit.
I mean, there's all those crazy like what I've been seeing clips on social media of like people gambling on this weird German show where they have to cut something in half perfectly and then weigh each half. And like,
Yes.
what? This
I actually was all in on that shit.
Yeah, I'm on like that. To me is I was like I would throw $5 bets at this.
I would do it
God,
now.
that's way off topic.
I would do it now.
That's way off topic.
No, well, here's why it's not. And Dom has a whole section of it if you want to skip for it. But CS has basically illegal underground casinos that have been targeting
Basically.
since they were young, since they were honestly Honest Comrade's age.
right.
Because if you start in 2000,
No, I mean,
you'd be young. You'd be young when you started.
there was an internet cafe by my high school.
Exactly. It was a
By
den.
our
Yeah.
high school.
That internet cafe was a den of sin, Nicole.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah, thin weird
But-
cigarettes.
That's right. That's right. All the Mountain Dew flavors.
Balls was popular.
Oh, dude, that fucking balls energy.
I could just at least talk about the last story since, of course, we've been avoiding the whole weapon skin controversy that everyone knows about. I can talk about that.
I don't know the weapons.
Tell me.
Is it
Tell
just
me,
the
Doug.
general fact that people are like fucking probably taking out loans for
No.
skins or prostituting their dogs?
CoffeeZilla did a whole
Yeah.
interview.
Well, that's
Hang on.
where I would say
Yeah.
CoffeeZilla, the
If
YouTuber.
you're interested in the deep dive of it, but basically, like, these guys were trying to make so much money and trying to be so corrupt that they're acting like mobs, basically like a mafia,
Basically,
And-
like a mob.
trying to interrupt shows and stuff like that. But I didn't understand it until the interview or until the actual report, because I didn't know how the fuck you could do a casino. But apparently the skins that Dom's talking about is the currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you could, they have these third-party websites that appeal to young players, right? You know, your 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And they'll bet skins on roulette, on jackpots, on coin flipping. And you cash these skins out on other sites for real money. And these casinos are basically just making all this money off of these CSGO skins, and Valve doesn't really know what to do. There's like lawsuits and stuff like that, but these things are still there. And then in that same CoffeeZilla video, which I recommend, I think it was his. They basically show that the combined casinos for this game make more than the number one online casino. So it's like, let's say like the online casino.
I think they said it's worth about $2 billion.
Yeah.
Entire
For
industry.
Counter-Strike skin?
The whole casino black market is worth about $2 billion.
Doesn't that blow
There's no,
your mind?
Yeah. I didn't think it was that big.
Industry.
No.
there is no fucking way.
It's insane. And because this is all obviously, underground, there's no regulation, right? Because if you're, you can steal your parents' credit card, you can claim to be
There's no
whatever
way.
age.
There's no way it's $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Any lie.
I recommend watching the video. You'll be completely surprised by what he reveals.
It was amazing. After I watched the video, I did like a little dive on it from other people's videos talking about the same thing. And I was blown away. I was completely blown away. And then one of the guys who actually is a multi-millionaire from it is complaining about it. Because even I don't remember why he had this weird change of heart. He basically tried to pay CoffeeZilla to attack somebody else in the industry, if I remember right. And he came out and said, like, there's nothing that stops us from doing this. Like we're millionaires fighting each other, but everybody knows that we're just taking money from kids. It's nuts to be
Or
to be
just
honest.
hack credit cards. I mean, it's just a vector for, all sorts of theft.
Yeah. Hey, can you imagine trying to report that? Like I'm reporting that I've lost all my money on these frauds and I've sold fake gun skins in a video game. Like no one's going to take it seriously. No one will take it seriously.
You have to explain that's your bank.
Right.
And it seems hard to believe because when he's interviewing Monarch, who's the head of CSGO Empire, one of the casinos, it's hard to believe him when he's saying he wants to do the right thing and have like age verification, but he just knows if he does that, it makes it harder for people to come to his casino because the other casinos aren't going to do that. So then everyone's just going to go there. So even if he wants to do the right thing, he just can't because his competitors will get ahead.
And he might just be saying it so that way he looks better. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know, eventually this house of cards is going to topple someday, right?
Yeah. Well,
Somewhere.
especially since he sent 18 people to a streamer's house to intimidate him for not dropping one of his competitors. Yeah,
See?
seriously, you gotta watch this video.
Reality. And these aren't like former Russian like bodyguards. These are guys that look like us going to somebody's house. being-
Nerdy guys.
Stop it.
I mean, it was technically a protest. He called it. He found out where this streamer lived, and they were just outside protesting. But
As somebody who isn't into CS, I can't recommend the video enough.
See, obviously, people were significantly more into this game than I was. I was just happy to go in and
Yeah.
recreate.
I did not know this episode was
This is
go in this direction.
the CS Mafia. It's your
I
god.
was like, well, that's the one part I'm going to have something to say.
Yeah, we got Jimmy Hot Pockets over here. He's gonna fucking get his eczema flakes on you if you don't fucking stop using the other.
Yeah, don't worry. We brought in Honest Comrade. He's gonna make things right. You know.
Honest, how do we this straight?
well, I did want to ask you guys. Oh,
How
what
do
did
we-
you say?
This, sir.
Oh,
I wanted to be fair. I think you got out of the game at the right time.
yeah. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Yeah.
It's quite literally.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of, have you guys, this is a slightly different topic, but the EVE Online Russian oligarch hack. Okay.
Mhm.
Have we talked about that? Okay.
Well, I guess I should ask you guys because when the said streamer I mentioned, his name is Grims, and when he was asked how much money did you make in 1 year from these, or I should say, he was sponsored by CSGO Roll, and he said he made about $5 million in 1 year. So CoffeeZilla interviewed one of the other YouTubers, Arrow, and he said he turned down $500,000 just to do one stream for a whole month, or stream for a whole month. He would get $500,000, and he
Damn.
turned that down. So to ask you guys, if we got offered something like that,
Nobody would offer us anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, really, think about if we did. Would we take something like that, knowing what we're promoting is kind of like frowned upon?
You mean,
You cheating?
dude? I'll punch for a Costco rotisserie chicken. All right, I'll take fucking money to shill out some brand.
So you
All right,
guys would,
this-
so you guys wouldn't take the money in a heartbeat.
I would. I would. Like
You have one? For
we're
what?
talking about taking money to stream some like a CS:GO gambling website, right?
Yes. So they're like, you just have to stream that you're on our website. You're putting up weapon skins and showing like, hey, look, yes, we won, guys. We won this bet.
No, I got principles.
But I don't see like it's not the fucking dark web. We're not selling people or guns or drugs. It's skins. And if somebody, just like with the League of Legends stuff, if somebody wants to blow their mortgage payment on skins,
Yeah.
that's their problem. If I got a skin that's somebody on the internet values at $800,
I just
Great, let's swap it up then.
I just don't think it's usually people's own money, right?
Yeah,
Like-
I'm with you on that one.
It's stolen credit cards,
yeah.
It's hacked
back
information.
money.
Yeah.
It's a vector for your bank account, right?
Somebody else's Bitcoin.
If it's more like that, then and I was aware of that. Like if I
No, but you wouldn't be
Yeah.
aware of it.
Yeah, that's the point. You
if I
can't.
wasn't aware of it, if I had
Yeah.
no idea that this was, I mean, anything more than just like a waste
You
of
would
people's
get
money
five-
time, I would
You would
do it.
get $5 million of stolen money.
And if I found out it was
Well,
stolen, I would like
It was
donate it to an orphanage or something.
Well, first you'd find out who from, right? Who did
No,
get
but-
stolen from, and then make a
They're
judgment.
the fucking orphans. That's why they live there.
No, but I'm kind of with John that I feel like that money would be life changing, at least for a couple months to pay off all debts, pay off mortgages. And then after that, I would just be like, okay, I don't need the money anymore. I got plenty.
Oh, that's always how that story ends.
Yeah, it's like,
What is it? 85% of lotto winners either wind up dead or addicted to drugs or something.
yeah, right.
Right, and then
Well, they started out that way.
podcast.
But that's where
One time, Pal's podcast gets put on blast for being millionaires after taking millions of dollars of stolen money. Right.
that's where I just wonder if I'm allowed to. Well, I'm sure if it was the casino, it'd be like you can't talk bad about it, or you can't say no, don't gamble. But I would probably be honest with people and just say, look, guys, this is what the stream's going to be about.
Yeah.
I normally don't gamble, but this is this is what gambling is like.
Yeah.
I hope you guys gamble responsibly.
Nobody gambles responsibly.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna say
I do.
I do too.
Yeah, dude, I bring $40 when I go to Vegas, and that's it.
Not even 4 hands of blackjack.
No, when I went on my cruise,
Responsibly.
when I went on my cruise, I was just like, okay, this $100 is all I'm playing with. If I lose it all, that's it, and I cut myself off.
Yeah.
That's how you do it responsibly.
You guys aren't talking like winners here.
no, exactly.
So I'm wearing AWP just inside my apartment right now. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't play. I'm just putting it there.
Honest Comrade says we're not good.
Right.
we're not talking.
you don't have the will of the warrior, he says.
Well, clearly we do have morals and standards. With that said, I'd like to welcome you all to our newest sponsor, Crown Casino.
Our newest sponsor, all of
Sponsor.
Las Vegas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we are not sponsored by any of these casinos.
All of Las Vegas. God, shit went way off the rails.
But if any of those CSGO casinos want to reach out, give us an offer.
So, Dom, do you have anything to take us home, or are we just going to talk about how bad we are as people?
We could just leave it at that. Gamble responsibly, people.
Let's end with the spirit of this episode was about. So, real quick, obviously, Nickel and I have zero positive last stories or anything like that. But if you could condense, like just something you remember from that game, how that stuck out to you, some random thing or whatever, other than John dancing for no reason whatsoever. I mean, I don't have sponsor, John. You don't have to be this happy.
You know what? I'll throw my happiest memory out there. I actually really enjoyed watching, even though I was a Team Fortress Classic player, I loved watching Honest Comrade playing Counter-Strike.
Honest Comrade is right. None of us sound like winners.
Like I did. I loved hanging out with my buddy and watching him play Counter-Strike. That's my memory.
And that is some of the best memories, right? Just playing with your friends.
And we had set up a little LAN down in the basement, which is where most of our gaming happened. And we had, two old school PCs next to each other, and there was always a floating person standing in the middle, shoulder looking over each player, and it was usually Nickel when we would be playing Counter-Strike.
I didn't play, but I just watch.
And those are some of the golden moments. It was my brother and I. We shared a room when he was like 19 and I was like 15. It was just totally not appropriate age for a basement LAN party, and that was part of what was so perfect about it. And lots of no scope headshots and thing and all that.
Awesome, John.
I mean, I think I already went into a lot of it. It was just like those going to the cyber cafe, being out late, doing overnights. That they locked the doors because that was the deal they made with Pleasant Hill PD. It was the doors were locked at midnight. You come out at 8 a.m. Like the exception was the person who ran to get Jack in the Box, or sometimes we'd convince him just let us out so we could go to the McDonald's over there. But just coming home, passing out, and just having a blast doing it. Those are some of my fondest gaming memories. Oh, I just did remember one more of my favorite mods or maps though. Which did any of you guys ever play the World of Warcraft or the Warcraft 3 mod?
When you took off your sunglasses, I thought this was you getting real.
No, I can't.
I'm getting serious now, guys.
Yeah, just like
No, I can't. These fucking sunglasses. I can't see my other monitor. They somehow cancel out the light coming out of this monitor completely. So it's just a black rectangle here. Can't see my note.
Gone off the rails like 8 times, but this became a serious like special episode of a sitcom just now.
Yeah.
That's what it came up.
It's the after school special.
You were wearing sunglasses
Yeah.
over your glasses
Yes.
this whole time.
No, I had my glasses on the table. I should have though. Here, we'll do this. We'll do this again. It's like, no.
I'm sorry, go ahead, do that. That's my fault.
No, there was a Warcraft 3 mod and you picked the in-game race you were, like orcs had higher health and they could boost the damage of their grenades. You know, Night Elf, if you stood still, you'd stealth. And like that was a really cool way to add some additional flavor to it. Which again just takes me back to like I loved how much the community rallied behind this back in the day and how much fun we had. And then all the custom maps and just fun times.
Dom, take us home.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and gamble responsibly.
Don't forget that the Time Pals now stream all of their episode recordings on Twitch, Kick, and eventually YouTube Live. So twitch.tv/TimepalsPodcast. It's Timepalspodcast on pretty much every form of media for podcasting, for live streaming right now. Give us a follow on there and enjoy the episodes live and unfiltered before we go and edit them for, public consumption.
And check out my YouTube channel.
And check out Dom's YouTube channel.
This month might have some nudity in it.
What?
This episode might have some nudity in it if I stand up right now.
And then finally, thank you very much for joining the show, Honest Comrade. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Not
man.
being there.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I love being a rotating seat for sure. I've got a lot of interests about nerd shit, comics, movies. Most of the new stuff's trash, but we can discuss the gems and the few shiny parts that have been coming out in the last few years.
Well, great. You're a pal and my friend, so yeah, we'll keep in touch. This is Mike _ for the rest of the pals. We'll see you next time.
Yep.